Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poemaster video, and today we're going to talk about some Tornadus stuff, which is coming to the game later tonight, right? If you live in my, or near my time zone, then it's tonight. If not, then the next reset, right? So first of all, damn, what happened here? Oh, well, looks like absolutely has some troubles with people, um, with the info stuff. But anyways, shouts absolutely for the info. Anyways, fair warning though, before we get into this, right? Usually, Legendary Arena info is not complete, right? The Datamined stuff is not complete. A lot of stuff missing here and there before the thing actually comes out. So do take all this with a grain of salt. There could be a lot of things that we haven't foreseen yet that comes out, when the thing actually comes out, right? But just in terms of what we have right now, let's go over some of the stuff, right? So, this is mostly the usual, right? The resistance will get reverted, yada yada. Each bar, nothing super, super special here. So, let's go over this. Boss him, paralyze the opponent. Other status conditions have no effect. The attack acts differently. The opponent acts differently when it's paralyzed. Well, the opponent is paralyzed and its passive skills become inactive. When an opponent recovers from interference, the resistance to it increases. So, the key to beating Tornadus is to paralyze him, and that's not hard because there's a lot of units that paralyze in the game, and there's a lot of very powerful ones, right? Not only there's a lot of them are really powerful, right? Obviously you got Marnie, 50% chance paralyzed. You got Volkner, which is probably gonna be the most used unit in this whole thing, right? Just because Volkner could paralyze, also flinch, and also give you Electro Train, which is going to be absolutely just incredible for this, right? And then I don't know, you got like the other units that have a smaller chance to paralyze, like 6 at least or whatever. But then you got the professional paralyzers, like Palatine Serena. You got Meowstick, Vileplume. Even like probably the weakest gridded paralyzer is probably like Meowstick, and Meowstick's still really good. Right, in this scenario. So yeah, again, a lot of units that can paralyze, so don't have to worry about too much there. Again, a lot of free units, right, that could paralyze, right? Meowstick, Vileplume, really good units. So actually wait, is Vileplume weak to flying though, or is it weak to fire? I think it's weak to fire, right? Yeah, it's weak to fire, right? Yeah, Vileplume should be great here as well to both paralyze, take some hits here and there, right? All right, moving on. Let's check out these. So we actually have the HP bar, so that's pretty cool, right? For each bar, right? With each part. So moving on, this is 31k. That's like one Marnie sync nuke, right? All right. Or Marty X moves. You got Hurricane. This is probably going to be the one that hits the hardest, maybe, right? They got Rain Dance, so the Hurricanes don't miss. Obviously, they got Air Cutter, which is annoying, but, just because you could crit, go through a defense boss. Air Slash is also kind of annoying. AoE Flinch, right? Or not AoE Flinch. Wait. Isn't Air Cutter... Wait. Yeah, never mind. I always get these two mixed up for some reason. I blame Pidgeot, mostly. But yeah. I got Air Cutter, which again could crit, Air Slash, Flinch. Both pretty annoying. Got Toxic, which is also not fun to deal with, right? So better bring someone that could cure statuses, obviously. Defog is also not fun because, again, Volkner is probably going to be the strongest unit, or I guess the most important unit to bring in this fight, and you know, when it clears your electric train, not fun, right? Although if you're bringing like a Marnie, I guess it doesn't matter because all you need is just like one electric train and then sync, and then even if they clear, then okay, who cares? We'll just set up again because you only need it for one turn, right? For the sync nuke, right? Or for a lot of them, like most of them, like Hao, Lisa, and although obviously they're not as, you know, as powerful, but they should do good amounts regardless. All right, so yeah, that's the moves that they got for, I think, their first bar, right? Second bar 2, you got Fly, which you can't hit them when they're flying, I guess, or most moves, unless you're, you know, if you're sinking, then you should be fine, which is going to be your main, you know, source of damage output anyways, because it's Legendary Arena and sync moves are very powerful there. Got Bulk Up. Okay, I mean, it makes the Fly do a bit more damage, I guess. Defense don't matter, so they're going to crit through them anyways. Aerial Ace is probably just going to be, you're hoping them to use Aerial Ace because probably their weakest move here. Brutal Swing. I mean, Brutal Swing, I don't know. I mean, Brutal Swing does like less damage per unit, but it hits everyone, so. Then I got Crunch. Yeah, so I guess like the second part is mostly like physical then, which is why they have like Bulk Up in comparison to, you know, again, over here you have Fly in comparison to like Hurricane earlier, so there's that. Anyways, moving on. We have a third bar. We got Fly again, Bulk Up, Air Lace, Brutal Swing, Crunch, and then the sync move, Flying Beam. So there's that. And then passives, they even mentioned it here. Incomplete, all that. Bar 1, Antitoxin, Flame Proof, Wide Awake, Anti-Freeze, so you can't freeze, sleep, burn, or poison them. And then you got Lessen Paralysis, Lessen Flinch, Lessen Interference 3 every time you recovers from the status conditions. Reduce their effect. Raises resistance until they're immune. Physical Fortitude 8. If you're not affected by a status condition, reduces damage when the user's hit by a physical attack move, right? Unimpeded 1, small chance of raising user speed when a move is successful if not affected by any statuses. Chronic Slowdown 2, 30% chance of lowering the user's speed when the user is hit by an attack move when you're affected by a status. Again, in status, just replace affected by a status condition with paralyzed, right? Because again, that's the only real one that you could really afflict here. Viral Speed 4 has a good chance of bringing the user speed. This makes no sense. I don't think this is correct. I don't think this description is correct. Yeah, there's no way this is right. It has like no condition at all. It's just, how are you gonna does it raise it randomly? Is it after an attack, or is it when it's status, which would make a lot of sense, right? Or when it cures from a status, or just whenever it wants? You could just, you know, give yourself use 10 in a row. Yeah, this again, a lot of these passive descriptions are probably not accurate. Self Cleanse 1, 20% chance of removing all status conditions from the user when the user uses a move, which is annoying, especially if you're running like one of those paralysis units that like don't 100% paralyze, like a Volkner, or you know, or you know, someone who has like a percentage chance of paralyzing in comparison to like Serena or Kayla or Vileplume that are 100% chance to paralyze, right? Troublemaker 1 raises chance of success for well, we know what that is. Does Racing Rain 4 and then Raging Rain 5, which is not fun because, you know, they could Rain Dance Hurricane with Raging Rain 5. That could do some pretty good damage, right? It looks like their first bar seems like the strongest. Anyways, because again, you know, the amount of damage with, again, Raging Rain 5 plus Hurricane, that's gonna hurt. None of the other moves sound like super threatening though. Removes all status conditions from the user when the user's HP drops half below for the first time in battle. A lot of that happens every time. Sharply raises accuracy half or below for the first time. Okay, I mean, you still have Rain Dance, so like, who cares? Unless like people are just running like Sun teams or sand or hail teams just get rid of the status and then they just reapply it. Anyways, moving on. Second bar, you got Antitoxin, Flame Proof, Wide Awake, Anti-Freeze again, less than Paralysis 5, less than Flinch, less than Interference, Healthy Advantage 5, Robust Physique. Actually, I might know what that does. Alright, so according to I think like the Chinese info, Robust Physique actually gives it crit immunity when the opponent is not statused. So you definitely want to status them. Got Ramming Speed, which obviously gonna hurt. Piercing Gaze, Self Cleanse 2, which again, annoying, right? If they actually get that to trigger, 30% chance of removing all status conditions from the user when the user uses a move. Then got Confusion Synergy 2, powers up moves when the target is confused. If they confuse you with a hurricane or whatever, right? Move all status conditions. Why is Unknown 1 and Unknown 2 the same? They're literally the same, word for word. Bar for bar. Alright. Unknown 3. Substantially raises the user's speed when the user's HP drops to half or below for the first time in battle, which is, again, annoying with ramming speed. Then you got... If the user enters the battle with full HP, ensures the user's next... Okay, again, these are things that we see all the time from Legendary Arenas, right? Go into a bar, into a new bar, a lot of times they'd either crit you, or guarantee crit, or when they go below half, they clear status conditions, when they go below half, all that stuff, right? Moving on. Third bar, Antitoxic, blah, 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 same stuff. Less Paralysis, less Flinch, less Interference 3, Mental Fortitude. This should be the same as Physical Fortitude, except this is for special damage, so it's a 80% special damage reduction when not statused, right? Ramming Speed, Chronic Slowdown, same stuff. Viral Speed, actually... Okay, so the info that I'm looking at, right? Which I'm not sure who got it. I think it's RollPal, right? Is that it's +4 speed when changing status. So there's that. Self Cleanse 1, again, Soaring Countdown reduces user's sync move countdown by 1 when defog is successful. So they're definitely gonna be defogging a decent amount. So like you gotta time your electric trains. I think, right? Instead of just like using them every time it runs out, you have to sort of like time it to like around your sync time, so you get the full full sync move damage, right? Which is overall better usually, right? Mind Praise 4 has a good chance of raising user special defense when an attack is successful. That literally does not matter. Guaranteed crit. Don't know what that is. Remove all status conditions. Same thing. Sharply raises attack. Substantially raises speed. Same stuff again. Alright, so yeah. So a lot of the same stuff. So basically what you want to do, the strategy over here, seems like, right? Just paralyze the opponent and do some damage. And don't die, right? Again, there are some slightly annoying things. Defog could get rid of your field effects. Toxic obviously could screw you over, if you don't have someone with like natural remedy or whatever, right? Or some sort of way of curing it. They have some moves that could flinch you, which is annoying. They could potentially crit you with some of these, so be slightly careful. Although again, like it could crit you, but like it doesn't have like that high of a base power, which is not that big of a deal. Their first bar, they have Rain Dance, Hurricanes that are also boosted by Rain, Raging Rain. So in terms of like what you want to do, right? So first of all, you definitely want someone to paralyze. Want a unit to paralyze. Again, a lot of these units, whether it be Vileplume or Meowstick, right? Those could paralyze. Almost every electric type unit has some way of paralyzing. Like Pikachu, you can paralyze a hostile environment on the grid. Even Electrode, like you can. It's not good, but you can, I think. I think it has like Thunderbolt or something. Or Thundershock, right? One of those? Yeah, Thunderbolt. Yeah, a very, very small chance of paralyzing. Discharge. Oh, I think he has like Thundershock too. And Discharge. Yeah, like basically every every one of these. Actually, no, Spark paralyzes too, right? I know Rotom has Thunder Shock. Obviously, again, you can paralyze with that. Yep, Spark, decent chance of paralyzing too. Luxray, obviously. Okay, Helios doesn't paralyze. All right, you know what, Helios, you're an embarrassment to the electric type community. Helios does not paralyze because the electric type move he has is like an electro web and parabolic charge. All right, so okay, everyone outside of like Helios, and I'm not gonna go through all the egg monks. Marnie obviously could paralyze as well. Zekrom could do some of that. Again, not really good, but there's a chance. But yeah. A lot of units that can paralyze. So what you basically want is to paralyze unit, and then do a lot of damage. Usually, much better with sync nukes because again, sync nukers are very very powerful in legendary arenas, right? Especially like because like a lot of times like these one of the reasons why sync nuke is probably better than DPSing in legendary arenas is a lot of times the opponent has some stuff that activates at half HP or under. So, for example, if you do enough damage at almost around half HP and then you sync nuke and then that just takes out the whole latter half of the half HP before triggering that half HP thing, you save yourself a lot of like trouble. Like you don't have to go through all that, half HP effect triggerings from the opponent. You just blow through it, right? For one. The other one is these usually take a bit longer than say like a master mode if you're rushing it, right? Or some other stuff, right? So you have time to build up your sync moves, right? Because like a lot of times sync moves they take a while to build up, right? Not all of them. Like Zekrom doesn't have much build up. I guess like a lot of the electro types don't really have much build up, but like for example, like a Champion Iris takes 1 billion years to build up, right? Or a Mallow takes 1 billion years to build up. That's why sync nukers are really good in Legendary, because Legendary Arena gives you a lot of time to build them up, right? So they're really, really good here. So yeah, in terms of sync nukers, right? Obviously, if you don't have any of these, you got Hao and Raichu, which is fantastic, right? For sync nuking, Zebstrika's obviously very, very good as well, especially since she has guaranteed crit, right? So you don't get screwed over by that 20% chance to not crit on RNG. So she's really, really great there, obviously with inertia and her grid. I guess Volkner if you want, because he does. Well, here's the thing with Volkner, right? Outside of obviously again the sync nigga, which is again very, very powerful. Volkner is probably just gonna be the best for this stage, just because like first of all, he has Thunderfang that could paralyze and flinch, which obviously gets increased a lot by hostile environment 4 and aggravation 4. So not only do you have that, you also have electric terrain, which boosts your electro type moves, and you also have a good sync nuke yourself, right? So like Volkner could like that meme with like that one person over there, and then like in front of him it says like actor, director, screenwriter. Like Volkner could basically be that. Volkner could just carry this whole thing by himself, because again, good sync nuke. Electric terrain, paralyze and flinch on Thunderfang. You can also do some damage with Wild Charge if you want as well. Hopefully, probably don't want to. Guaranteed crit on your sync as well. Like Volkner just like destroys the stage basically. And in Zekrom, if you have like a lot of copies of N and Zekrom, he could also do some good damage on his sync, right? Because he has a lot of sync nodes. Sync node power-ups, right? Clement and Helios, even though he doesn't paralyze, he could also deal some decent damage on the sync move. He has obviously this. He also has Cakewalk, right? On his sync grid, so he could also again be a really, really good sync nuker. And obviously probably the absolute most powerful, literally the strongest sync nuker in the whole game, right? Across like any types, right? When super effective, the queen of sync nukers, Marnie, which is probably just gonna obliterate this thing. So also again, got a really, really good chance of paralyzing as well with hostile environment 5. So yeah, Marnie obviously going to be very, very powerful here. So yeah, you got a lot of options. All of these work. Like literally every single electric type unit that's not like, you know what? Togedemaru, Electrode. Okay, then maybe Pikachu's not super great here. But I mean, like Pikachu, like he could still do some damage to Pikachu, right? I mean, hey, powers of 16. But yeah, like if you like Lieutenant Surge, you got oh, actually Lieutenant Surge has nothing. Actually no, this is Voltorb. We have to probably evolve it first before it does anything. 'Cause I really don't know what a sync move does. Yeah, Surging Charge Beam, you got a sync nuke here as well, right? Same with Togedemaru. Probably got some weird sync nuke there. Whatever it is, when the opponent's flinching. So yeah, any electric type unit just absolutely like obliterates the stage. I don't really have to worry too much, right? In terms of like your supports, you definitely do want something that could deal with toxic, right? Something that has Natural Remedy. It's Natural Remedy, right? I always get Natural Remedy, Quick Cure confused. The one that cures poison, or units that straight up can't get poisoned, right? Or units that could cure it, like a Xerneas, or what was the other one? Comfy. If you have Comfy, obviously one of the best in the game at doing that, right? Yeah, or Misty, Starmie. She could also do that, right? Just get rid of Toxic. That could be a bit of an issue. Outside of that, yeah, just any electric unit plus a support, plus either Volkner or like another tank or something, and you just basically just blow like Tornadus out of the water. Like, again, we don't have like all 100% of the details, but it looks like Tornadus is not gonna be very hard. So anyways, we'll see. Maybe there's some trick up its sleeve eventually that might catch us by surprise, but from the looks of it, I mean, everyone should be able to like destroy this thing. So anyways, that's me this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys in the comments down below, like this video, sorry, travel some more about mountains content. See you guys in the next one.